Hello, and welcome to the Miracles of History channel. Before we begin, I warmly invite you to like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to the channel so that you can continue exploring fascinating truths, historical insights, and spiritual wisdom that inspire and transform. The Talmud and the Torah, an in-depth guide to understanding Jewish wisdom. For anyone who truly seeks to understand the Bible on a profound level, learning and embracing Jewish tradition is absolutely essential. At the heart of this tradition lies the Talmud, a text that has guided generations of scholars, sages, and ordinary people in navigating the complexities of life, spirituality, and the commandments of God. But what exactly is the Talmud? And why is it considered so central in Jewish learning? Some might ask, is it a divine work, inspired directly by God himself? Or is it simply the result of rabbinical interpretation, the product of human study and reasoning? To answer these questions, we must begin at the very foundation, exploring fundamental concepts clearly and in a way that is accessible to anyone who wishes to grow spiritually and gain a deep understanding of the Torah, the written Torah, and the oral Torah. To start, it is crucial to understand that the Torah is not just an ordinary book. There is a fundamental distinction between the written Torah and the oral Torah. The written Torah was dictated word by God to Moses, encompassing the 5 books of the Bible that we all know so well: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Yet, simply reading the text is not enough. Behind every law, every story, there exists a vast network of explanations, traditions, and interpretations that have been passed down through generations. These form the oral Torah, and the Talmud is the most comprehensive compilation of this oral wisdom, preserving and clarifying the divine teachings for all who wish to learn. A simple example illustrates this clearly. In the Torah, after the story of the spies, there is a commandment regarding the tzitzit, the fringes that must be worn on certain garments. The written Torah does not provide the details. How exactly should the fringes be tied? How many knots? What type of thread should be used? Must they be worn during the day, at night, or both? All of these details are found in the oral Torah. Without this oral explanation, it would be impossible to fulfill the commandment correctly, and the depth of the law would remain inaccessible. I can share a personal experience to bring this to life. One day, walking through the streets of Rio de Janeiro, a man tapped me on the shoulder and asked if the fringes I was wearing were truly in accordance with the Torah. I showed him the proper knots and threads, and he was amazed, admitting that he had never noticed these details before. This encounter demonstrated vividly that the written Torah alone cannot convey the full depth of God's wisdom. The oral Torah is indispensable, divine and human transmission. God entrusted both the written Torah and the oral Torah to Moses, Moshe Havenu, who faithfully transmitted them to the people of Israel. One of the reasons the Torah was given in the desert is to emphasize that it belongs to no one. It belongs to God, and anyone who sincerely seeks knowledge may access it. The oral Torah complements the written Torah, providing detailed guidance on points that the literal text alone cannot express. This makes study dynamic, engaging, and alive, allowing generations of scholars to interact with the text, ask questions, and apply its wisdom to new situations. The structure of the Talmud. The Talmud forms the backbone of the oral Torah and is considered the single most important book for anyone who wishes to understand Jewish wisdom in both theory and practice. It contains discussions on all 613 mitzvot commandments of the Torah, exploring every detail with precision. However, do not expect direct, simplistic explanations. The Talmud is written in a dialogical form, through questions, answers, debates, and logical analysis. This method teaches students not only the content of the law, but also how to think critically, reason carefully, and examine multiple perspectives. Life is complex, and laws must be interpreted according to context. One law may apply in one situation in a certain way, but in a different scenario, its application may change. The Talmud teaches that 2 ideas that may seem contradictory can both be valid depending on the circumstances. This nuanced approach contrasts with a simplistic black-and-white logic and represents one of the great strengths of Jewish thought. Commentaries, Rashi and Tosafot. The study of the Talmud is enriched by commentaries, notably by Rashi and the Tosafot. Rashi, an 11th century scholar, provides clear explanations of the Talmudic text, including the Mishnah and Gemara, helping students understand the meaning of complex passages. The Tosafot, written by a group of scholars, many descendants of Rashi, complement and expand these explanations. These commentaries are not personal opinions. They are faithful transmissions of the tradition that Moses received on Mount Sinai, preserving centuries of spiritual and legal wisdom, mystical stories, and Kabbalistic insights. The Talmud also contains mystical stories and metaphorical narratives, often revealing secrets of Kabbalah that go beyond even the Zohar. Studying these stories requires patience, reflection, and guidance, making learning the Talmud a continuous spiritual journey, not just an intellectual exercise. Every story, every discussion, provides an opportunity to deepen one's understanding of God, ethics, and the human experience. The yeshiva experience. Studying the Talmud is demanding. In yeshivot, Jewish houses of learning, students engage with the Talmud intensively, sometimes 7 days a week, up to 15 hours a day. Here, study is not passive. Students debate, question, discuss, and analyze. This method embodies the living tradition of the oral Torah, combining discipline, dedication, and intellectual curiosity in a deeply meaningful way. The language of the Talmud. The Talmud is written in Aramaic, and it lacks conventional punctuation. There are no periods, commas, or question marks. To interpret it correctly, students learn the melody of study, a rhythm that indicates pauses, emphasis, and flow. This approach turns reading into an almost musical experience, where the text comes alive, resonating not only intellectually but spiritually. Why the Talmud is essential. In conclusion, the Talmud is far more than a book. It is a living tradition that connects every generation to the divine teachings of Moses. It teaches us to question, reflect, debate, and deeply engage with God's wisdom. Through it, we learn the divine commandments, ethical principles, laws governing our relationship with others, our inner selves, and our Creator. It also provides profound lessons in ethics, spirituality, and practical wisdom, transforming the study of the Torah into a lifelong journey of spiritual growth, intellectual expansion, and moral refinement. For anyone who truly wants to understand the Bible, the Talmud is indispensable. It cultivates discipline, critical thinking, and spiritual connection, showing that the written Torah and oral Torah together form the foundation of Jewish life and divine wisdom. If this content has enriched your understanding, just as the manna nourished the people of Israel in the desert, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends and family, so more people can benefit from these timeless teachings. May God bless you and your family abundantly. We will meet again in the next video.